This is my new rolly boy. That's what I'll call it. It's my rolly boy. My floor rolly boy. What's going on, guys? And how y'all doing today? Got a fresh cut, feeling good. It is a beautiful day here in Palm Bay, Florida. It's probably in the 70s, which means it's time to be in the garage working on the car. As I've been talking about in my last video, or one of my last videos, whichever order this winds up going in, huge disadvantage to these F-body cars is the rear end, and I am hoping to get rid of all of the bad and only have the good. So if you guys saw my last video, I'll put a little icon in the corner. This is a Trick Chassis 9-inch 31 spline, strange axles, 370 gear behind a 6-speed cammed LS1. Makes about 420 horsepower for now. With that being said, I want to go ahead and get all the wink links out now before we start getting into the bigger power stuff. Little nitrous express, nitrous outlet action. You guys can kind of see where this build might be going. So if this is the first time watching, this is my Trans Am that I'm wanting to build and run 10s in the quarter mile with a stick shift with, you know, spray, obviously. And then eventually I have a 370 cubic inch that's forged, and that'll be going in, and then a big old spoolie boy will go in as well, and then we're shooting for 8s. You know, obviously I'm gonna go automatic because as much fun as stick shift cars are to drive, automatics are faster, and that's just the name of the game. So that is the route that we will be going. In today's video, I'm not gonna be doing the install of the new rear, but what we're going to be doing is sliding under the car and taking the old rear out. So, as you can see, the rear is still up here, and this is the stock 7.5 inch or 10 bolt, whichever you'd like to call it. And we are going to start taking it all apart. So this part of the video will be taking the 10 bolt out, and then the next one will be installing the new 9-inch. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by rolling around. I know this is probably bothering the hell out of you guys. I'm sorry. But it's kind of fun. This is my new rolly boy. That's what I'll call it. It's my rolly boy. My floor rolly boy. So I'm gonna crawl under and get this thing started. Actually, I might jack it up a little bit higher, just to give myself a little bit more clearance. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So we're going to go do that. Bye-bye. All right, guys, so I jacked the car up probably about another 2 inches all the way around on all 4 corners. Now, if you followed my channel before, you understand that I like to, before I touch anything, I like to just look at it. And would you just look at it, and then I would like to kind of get a general idea where I want to start, and then get my steps already thought out, because I don't want to get underneath here and then start on something and realize I had to take the other thing off before I could take that piece off, and it adds more time. And that's just something that I've learned with experience, because there's been lots of times where I have completely boofed myself up and you know, I had to take 3 other things off to take off the thing that I tried to take off the first time. So lessons learned. Anyways, this is one of those moments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off this rear sway bar first. You got a U-bolt that holds it in to the axle here, and then you have the front side over there that I'm going to take off. And the reason behind this is what I want to do is I have 2 more jack stands like those, and what I want to do is go ahead and take this off, get this out of the way, so I can go ahead and have this axle supported, so it doesn't just drop, you know what I mean? And then that allows me to go ahead and take off this rear cover, drain all the nasty fluid out, go inside, hang off my son for a little while that drains, and then what I'll do is I'll leave the drive shaft for one of the last things that I take off. That way it has the front supported and it doesn't just lean forward and smack me in the head. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll start taking off all, panhard bar, start taking the lines off, probably take off the rotors and everything. So I'm gonna save those because those are gonna go onto the 9-inch that's sitting over there along with the backing plates. So let's go ahead and get this daggum thing started, man, because this thing's gonna take a minute. And that's why I'm doing this a 2-part video. This will be the taking this one out, and the next one will be putting that bad boy in, but I gotta go get, axle bearings and stuff. There's still a few more things, so I'll be doing the best that I can here. All right, so let's get at it. All right, well, I got the lower sway bar off. I did wind up having, on this side I was able to get the actual bolt off, but I still went ahead and took off the mounting bracket because I'm gonna eventually switch to a performance anti-roll bar so I can pop big old wheelies. Actually, wheelies are not a sign of going fast. It's usually a sign of something wrong with your suspension, especially on a lower power level like I'll be making. Oh, but on this side, I goofed quite a bit actually. I wound up not only stripping this side, but also bending it. So if you look at it, boom, look at that bolt head bending. So it is bent. So I went ahead and said, okay, and took this side off from the mounting brackets. And like I said, for the other side, I'm gonna have a performance anti-roll bar for this thing. So next step for me is I'm going to lift the whole axle up, probably 3 or 4 inches. Level it out, get it probably at about close to 0 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is put the 2 jack stands underneath the axle housing tubes, pull the rear cover, and then we should be good to drain. I am curious to see how that rear fluid is, and before I drain it, I'll probably see how much is actually in it because I know I was leaking. I mean, I have a leak spot right here, so it was definitely leaking gear oil. I just don't know how much, and I'd be curious to see what that is. So jack this thing up, get it all supported, and then go ahead and start continuing on. I'll probably do the panhard bar next. That's pretty easy. It's 2 bolts, and then it hangs right off. All right, as you can tell, I did get the back plate unbolted and trying to get it to drain now. There wasn't any fluid really missing. It was pretty full, so it was not as bad a leak as I thought it was. And the fluid looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look all gooey or it looks pretty golden. It doesn't look any brown, you know what I mean? So pop this sucker off, see what we're working with. All right, quick update. I've got an audience with the little one. He's hiding. Oh, wrong side. Oh well. Anyways, so I got the axle dropped. I didn't really want to show you guys all the nitty gritty as far as, the lower control arms, torque arm and all that. It's not really that difficult. You just look at it and be like, oh, that bolt's got to come out for that thing to come out. So I got the rear end dropped for the most part. Now I'm going to work on getting all the brake lines and all that stuff out because that's going to be a pain. I've got it all strapped up to my jack, and then it's on 2 stands. So once I get everything released from the brakes and all that, I'll move the jack stands, drop the axle out, and push it straight back, and then we will start getting this one ready to go in. Got to get the pull these axles so I can get the backing plates off, and then I got to wait for the bearings to put into that one, and then put the backing plates back on that one, and cool race car things like that. So gonna work on getting these brake lines out. Alright guys, so as you can probably tell, I got the 10 bolt out. Did I do it without making a mess? No, because there's kitty litter all across. I got caught and had to lift the car up a little bit, or excuse me, the rear end a little bit, and it started spilling. I'm trying to find my light so that I can show you guys what I found, which is very interesting because I was probably one rip away from destroying this rear end. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can really see or not in there. Let's see if I can't try to like point it out to you. So I'm gonna zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Focus. Alright, so see this gear? This tooth right here? See right there where it's shiny? Yeah, that's sheared. This one's sheared. This one is also sheared. This one is also sheared. So is this one. On the ring gear itself, those are the only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yeah. We'll say 7.5 ring gears are sheared at the end. Now I haven't looked at the pinion gear yet. I'm gonna have to take this thing apart so I can pull the axles, so that I can actually get the back housing off, like I discussed earlier. Now with the 9-inch, you do need to retain this back housing right here. So I'm gonna be pulling these axles out here later. Not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna go spend some time with my La Familia or whatever. But this is the back plate. So I'm assuming I pull off here, and then pull that sucker right out. And she's just about done. But got the car completely pulled, or the rear end completely pulled from the car. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna clean up underneath here a little bit, just because it did have that front seal going bad, and it was slinging gear oil all over the place. And if you guys have messed with gear oil before, you know it's really gross and nasty stuff. So that's gonna wrap it up for the It's gonna wrap it up for the video of today. This is gonna be part 1. Part 2 is, and I got crap all over my face. I sure do. Ugh. Part 2 is going to be, maybe it'll turn into a 3-part. It just depends. Maybe a 3-part, because I got to get the bearing and everything on the axles. I got to take that one apart. Then I got to put the 9-inch together, and then maybe the third video will be me slapping that sucker in there and hoping that everything works, because I'm still kind of gambling with the torque arm. And but I mean, it's either gonna work or it's not. If it doesn't, then hey, the car's sitting for a little while, and got to save up some money for a torque arm, and probably gonna go ahead and do a drive shaft loop and a drive shaft. Who out there does them? Maybe Trick Chassis. Maybe you guys want to suggest somebody else. I am open to all the options. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Check you next time. Man, my hair, I got it cut. Oh, a little I look rough. I'm out.